Do you ever feel like you're married to a bulldozer?
Yes, and decisions can be made with no breaks and no warning.
That's kind of what we mean in our past videos when we've referenced the Mario character, because what we're going to be talking about today is the high D in the disc profile. And these Mario types, they go fast all the time.
It's kind of like you're riding along with them, you're trying to find a seatbelt, and you just can't find it.
Hi, I'm CJ.
And I'm H-Man, and welcome to Gotta Wonder 25.
We're just a crazy couple that loves disc. It actually helped save our marriage, and we're explaining all the parts. Today, what we're explaining is what we call a high D. We'll share some stories, talk about some common problems, some key takeaways, and the ever popular
Bloopers!
let's start and look at our old school diagram here for a second. So as you may recall, we have outgoing and reserved, and then when you look at it left and right, it's people and task. Today, we're only talking about this letter D. So it's the outgoing and the task folks. When we use the phrase a high letter, like in today's case, we're going to be talking a lot about a high D. And that simply means that that person has the majority of those traits of that letter.
That's right, and most everybody is a blend of their neighbor and the letter.
So for instance, a D commonly will be a DI blend or a DC blend. H-Man, for instance, is a high S, like his picture should be on the graph. He's that high.
It's true, and she is just an uncommon blend of all four of the letters.
It's right. I struggled with the Enneagram that have 9, I think. The Myers-Briggs, the very first question pigeonholes you whether you're outgoing or reserved, and I'm like, I literally can't tell you one or the other. I'm half. So this is why the disc works really well for me is it helps describe the blends.
Yes, and a little bit later on, we'll go through how the blends work and match up.
We would love for you to drop in the comments any questions or requests that you'd like for us to cover in the future videos.
So please watch our video all the way through, make comments, and share. It would really be amazing for your help.
All right, we're going to keep it old school. These 5 words describe a high D.
And we're actually going to use sticky notes because we're kind of fancy that way.
For feet.
So the first one would be decisive.
Oh, crooked. Because I'm fancy like that.
And direct. Determined.
Crooked. Crooked letter. We're not Mississippi. All right.
Doer. And driven.
We're driving.
And driving.
I mean, these really describe their wiring. They literally show up in everything they do. They just can't help but be anything different.
Here are a few questions that flat out identify a high D.
You know they are high D if
They stay in boss mode when they come home from work and they don't even realize it.
they act like a control freak only because there's so much to do.
Or they talk so direct that it feels like the subject is already decided without your input.
That's not attitude, it's wiring on full blast.
It sounds like a narcissist, right?
Be very careful about this one. It's not the same thing.
Here are a couple key things that set them apart.
A high D wants to accomplish things, to get things done, not for their own ego.
A big difference is a high D can talk about a subject at length and not turn the conversation back over to them.
That's a real litmus test to see how long did it take them to get back to themselves.
It's good to clear that up, but
They do cause a few battle scars.
yep, if you do live with a high D, here are some of the common pain points.
They're often accused of being emotionally unavailable. They're all task and no feels.
It's not that they don't care, their wiring pushes them doing over connecting.
High Ds are often accused of not being able to listen very well either. While they're listening to you describe a problem, they're already 10 steps ahead thinking they have it solved without even hearing the rest of your explanation. It's autopilot the way they move fast.
They have difficulty ending a disagreement because they just want to get across the finish line first.
It's foreign to them to end an argument on a positive note just because that would be good for the future. That does not resonate with them. I got a good story for you. Well, it's not so good necessarily. My dad was a high D. Actually, he was a DI, that blend that we're going to be talking about later. And I remember very distinctly, he came home one day and bought my mom a stove. My mom never looked at that stove before he bought it. But I am quite sure, as I think back about it, we had kind of a funky space for it. And it was a little bit unusual stove because it had like an extra width to it. And I'm sure he thought, oh, that fits the space. I'll just buy it for her. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine doing that to somebody without their feedback. So I, being the daughter, said, oh, well, do you want mom to buy you a tractor? Maybe not a lot of points were made that day.
Probably not a lot, especially if you're the one who's going to be using the product and you're not the one choosing it. But it's also helped me too, because my wife is such a blend that I know when she goes into her D mode that she has things on her list. She needs to get them done, and we need to get organized to get through the day.
I don't even realize I'm talking directly, So in our early marriage, he would say, why are you yelling at me? Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And I was like, I didn't raise my voice. And he was like, but you spoke so harshly.
But it's being an S that sees the D, didn't understand it at the time, didn't know how to receive it either and or respond.
We had so much going on back then with the house and everything. It was like, so I can flip into that mode.
A lot of lists. But we got through it.
We did. Yeah. Yeah. Be nice to D's. They're not all that bad.
I know we've been talking about the high D during this video, but the real magic is this. It's not just about them. It's also about yourself, to understand yourself, to understand them.
That's very true. And in God's good humor, opposites attract, right? And it's rare. It's rare that you're wired like your partner. So yeah, high D's bring it. I mean, they bring it. But guess what? You, in how you're made and your wiring, you balance each other out beautifully. This leads to wrapping up our situations along with our takeaways. And I got to tell you, this first one is logical and magical. When it comes to them not listening, and even household chores, the fairness at home, here's a great idea. Step into their quadrant and get prepared for the conversation. Match their speed. If it's a listening situation, you might just say before you get into the conversation, I have 3 things we need to discuss before we agree on an outcome. That way you're setting it up to be heard. And please make it short. Don't give them the long list. Come prepared with what they need to know and maybe say, at another time we can discuss it at length. Right now, I need from you. Talk their language. That goes with the takeaway that we've said before. Admit differences, respect for them, and allow for them. And that's exactly probably what you're going to want them to do when they come to you, or vice versa, to step in your quadrant.
In an example from earlier, from emotionally unavailable, we're going to use the takeaway of name it, don't blame it. When they're being this way, engage with exactly what you want without being mad.
It's really easy just to say, oh, they're just being cold. We'll call them out on it. Even use humor if that's your dynamic. But oftentimes I think we get in our own ruts, and if you call them out, However, it can be a positive thing.
Communication is a good point.
And as far as the difficulty in ending a conflict, I have to share with you a sweet little thing that we came up with years ago. I mean, it's hard when you've had that in the air and you're expected to move on. I had a hard time with that.
It was difficult. We were trying to figure out what to do, and well, it kind of helps on the emotional and physical side. Give each other a hug, kind of give it that ending.
Just hug it out. But it really does. It just hug it out. So D's are the most misunderstood quadrant that we have, but thankfully, they're only 10% of the population.
That's a good thing.
So next week, out with the D,
in with the I.
High eyes, watch out. Talk about an extreme opposite of the quadrant. We'll have to stay tuned for that one.
Thanks for being with us today on Got a Wonder 25.
Know your letter?
Know your people. Yep. Okay.
She's all by her D-dum. Not really.
Help us.
That's what the whole world says when a high D walks in the room.
Help me. Cringeworthy.
Know your letter?
Order your pizza.